Hi, this is Neil Walters with neilsvideos.com and the Neil Walters YouTube channel. Today I wanted to share with you a little bit about DeFi and specifically a token called Plasm. And today in this video I'm going to actually lock down some Ethereum into a smart contract, and in return for that they're going to give me a bunch of Plasm tokens. So Plasma is a new network that's coming, and I'll show you a little bit about it here. And I heard about this today by watching this guy's video. Every morning I probably watch 30 minutes to an hour or more of videos, and I've been trying to absorb what's happening in this world of DeFi, which stands for distributed or decentralized finance. And this guy had a video that was pretty simple that just walked through the whole process. And so basically today in my video, I'm going to kind of do what he did, but I'm going to give my own version and take of the whole thing. I feel like I've been a little bit left out on all the other DeFi stuff that's been going on, and so I want to be a part of it in some way without taking a lot of risk, and I think this may be the thing to do it. You want to get in early, and you don't want to risk a lot or spend a lot of your coins that you already have. So before we actually do the process, stay tuned. I'll put a time marker when I actually begin the process of doing my lockdown and getting my Plasm tokens. You can see this Plasma network is related to Polkadot, which is a brand new thing I just started hearing a lot about. I've actually bought some DOT or Polkadot as well. It's called DOT is the ticker symbol for short. And they allow you to have parachains, and there's already a huge network of these parachains appearing. I've watched a few videos on Polkadot. There's many more to watch, but almost all of them go to this website. And of course you see this kind of diagram here, which just shows you how basically different networks can be connected to each other, and you can see some of them basically have stronger strengths and relationships to others. But this is the idea of everything's connected to everything, and it says over here that Polkadot is a true multi-chain application. And so in some ways Polkadot might be the new Ethereum. We don't know yet, right? But they already have these cross chains and side chains and parachains and all that kind of technology. It says here Polkadot can transfer the data across public open permissionless blockchains as well as private permission blockchains. This makes it possible to build apps that get permission data from a private blockchain and use it on a public blockchain. For example, the school's private permission academic record chain could send a proof to a degree verification smart contract on a public chain. Okay, so that's all kind of verbose, but let's get back to here. Take a look at how they're going to do this. What is the Plasma network? So this is their architecture diagram. It shows you here there's a Plasm parachain. I always want to say Plasma, but it's Plasm, not Plasma. And here's the other blockchains such as Ethereum, and here's the Polkadot, and then here's an example of other child chains that interact with it. And so basically, as you go on down here, PLM is the token. PLM, just short for Plasm, has the following roles. There'll be staking on it for consensus and block reward. There will be transaction fees. There'll be DApp rewards, and then government. You can vote if you own these tokens. Now, why do we need PLM? Now, I think some of these new DeFi tokens, it's kind of like crazy. The prices are going up and they don't actually have a purpose. It looks like this Plasm token actually has a purpose, at least they claim it does here, and that there'll be various costs having to do with using the Plasm network. Just like we pay gas, for example, when we do Ethereum transactions. So people will need to buy PLM tokens to be able to work on this network. And so today the network is probably so new, there's probably not a lot of use cases, not a lot of people using it, but maybe 6 months or a year from now it may be the hottest thing in the world. And I keep seeing all these videos on the web about, buy this coin or this is the next gem, and we're all trying to find the next big coin. And the nice thing about this is, though, you're not really buying it, you're getting free ones, which I'll explain more in just a minute. PLM is required for dApps developers to get a dApp slot on the root chain. That reminds me of the old days of EOS. That was the big claim, is if you had a lot of EOS, then you're going to be able to develop these apps, and you kind of like had a piece of the network. So I think that's the same concept. If company A deposits 100 PLM, the company can mint 100 wrapped PLM tokens. We can talk about wrapping in another video. There's a hierarchical structure. I'm not going to read all that either. So instead of doing like an ICO, what they're doing is what's called lock drops, and there's 3 phases of it. The first phase is already done, And right now we're in lock drop number 2. The third lock drop will include Bitcoin and DOT or Polkadot tokens as well. Right now you can only put in ETH tokens. I think they plan to do Bitcoin here, but I don't think they got it in yet. And so they'll be distributing this many tokens in this lock drop 2, and again this many in lock drop 3. Now, as far as I know, I haven't found any place yet where these tokens are currently traded. So once you get them, you're probably just going to have to sit on them for a few months until they get on several exchanges, and then you can slowly start to sell them as the price goes up. So what lockdown means is you're going to put your Ethereum into their smart contract, and that's why it's called a lock drop, not a lockdown, but similar. And your Ethereum will not be available to you while it's locked down. And there's different time periods you can lock it for. We'll show you in just a minute. So you will lock your ETH, and then basically they will give you a reward in PLM tokens for doing that. And then when your lock period is over, you get your ETH back. Now, of course, there's some risk in that. The chances that someone could hack the network or the smart contract could have been poorly written, but I think they've probably done a good job, and they even have, it says up here, they give an auditor who has actually gone over their smart contracts. So there's a little bit of trust involved that they're not just going to take your ETH and go away, basically. Okay, so let's get to the more fun stuff. So what you're going to do is go to lockdrop.plasmanet.io, and down here on the left side they have a lock drop calculator, and this is where you specify how much, for example, ETH you're going to lock up. So I'm thinking about doing 1 Ethereum. At the moment of this video, 1 Ethereum is about $405, and I had one sitting around still on Coinbase, even though I kind of use different exchanges for trading. I do a lot of trading, and I thought, well, I'm going to put that Ethereum to use instead of just letting it sit there. So this is perfect if you're into Ethereum long term, like multiple years. This might be the thing for you. And I think of it as like a certificate of deposit as well. When you go to the bank, I don't think I've ever had a CD. My parents have, of course, but where you put your money in a CD and then they're going to keep it for like 60, 90 days or months or whatever, and you get a higher interest rate, right? Well, you're going to be amazed at this. So here's 1 Ethereum. This is just a calculator, right? But say you want to put in 1 Ethereum, and now you pick your time period. So let's say you want to put it in for a month, which is a pretty short period of time. They'll give you 4,300 PLMs. So you got to think at the first, a PLM might only be worth a penny, or actually probably even a fraction of a penny. But if you hold it maybe 6 months or a year, who knows? PLM may be 10 cents or $1. We don't know what PLM is going to be worth. But just imagine if a PLM went to $1, you would have made $4,000 if you sit on it, and that well exceeds the cost of the $400 of Ethereum you put into it, right? Now there will be gas cost as well. So I have a little extra Ethereum, maybe 5% of 1 Ethereum to be used for gas cost. Now that sounds amazing, but now look at this. See, it tells you here the rate is 24x. So if you go up to now 100 days, the rate is not 24x, it's 100x. And now you're going to get 18,000 PLM. And now if you want to go 300 days, close to a year, you're going to get 360x or 65,000 PLM. And then the last one is 1,000 days, which you know is close to 3 years, right? And let's do that. You can see the rate is 1,600x, and you're going to get 290,000 PLM. By the way, 3 years is 1,095 days. So 1,000 days would be about 3 months short of 3 years. Now I combine this with my other studies and knowledge, and I've told you before I listen to Marius Landman. He's one of my mentors, and I use all his systems and products and services. And those are available on my website as well. If you go take a look at my other videos, look for To Know It or Marius Landman or some of the mentorships that I'm in, where we get together every day and talk about cryptos for about an hour and a half, 5 days a week. It's the Master Trading Program. And this is not actually one they're recommending. I'm doing this out on my own. You might think of this as a lottery ticket, but again, you're really not risking anything. You're not risking a lot because in theory, you're going to get your Ethereum back, right? So let's continue. So if you're a trader, you might want to sell your Ethereum before 3 years because there might be some huge peaks coming up. So I'm a little hesitant to go that long. But on the other hand, I don't know. It's like you're going to get all this plasma. No, not plasma. Plasm. You're going to get all this plasm down here in exchange, and that, who knows, that might be more worth what Ethereum is three years from now. We just don't know. So let's look at this one more time. Do you want it 1,600 times as much? 300 days, I think, is a much more comfortable period because that's like under a year, and you get 360. So the multiplication difference is 360 versus 1,600. So you get about 4 or 5 times more plasm when you do 1,000 days than when you do 300. Another thing to think about is that Plasm and Dot and all these other new chains, ADA and Cardano and all the other new ones that are doing smart contracts, they may actually outdo Ethereum in the next 2 or 3 years. So Ethereum could become worthless in 3 years as well. So that's why you might want to take a lower period. But then again, we don't know what the Plasm is going to be worth. So it's a total kind of a guess, and you have to decide what your parameters will be. I feel like I'm going to kick myself either way. So I'm going to probably go for the middle of the road. I think I'll go for 300 days. So I'll get that. So now when you're ready to do it, this is just the calculator. You go over here to the lock drops. And the first lock drop, if you click that, you can. It's just going to say, hey, it's already over. Anyway, ignore that basically. Now, any of these screens where it shows my address, it's a public address, but I'm still going to hide it just for privacy information. You know, you can't steal money from someone's public address, but I'd rather just kind of keep it all private where I'm moving my Ethereum around and stuff. So here is similar to the prior page, but here's where you're actually going to put in that you want to spend 1 Ethereum. So you could type 1.0, for example. Please choose the duration, and now I've decided based on that calculator that I'm going to do 300 days. There is kind of a referral link here, but I don't actually know the guy's name. In the video I watched, he actually recommended somebody called Lucas, but since he didn't put I can't find the address, I'm just going to skip that. And so I'll do submit transaction. Now up here, this means I'm not hooked up to my MetaMask yet, so let me make sure I'm logged on and everything's going well there. Okay, I had some difficulties there. I closed the browser, reopened it, but this is my MetaMask, and it's saying, do you wish to sign this? So I'm going to say sign. Sign this message to submit a lock request. This action is required, etc. So what they should be doing is taking 1.0 of my ETH, or my Ethereum right now, and putting it into their smart contract, I believe. Okay, the wheels spin for a while, spun, whatever wheels do. And I have to confirm the gas fees now. So now it's telling you the Ethereum plus the gas fee, and this is why I told you I needed potentially 3 or 4%. So anyway, I say confirm. Okay, whoops, I saw a green thing. I hope it got on the video. You get a lot of these little funny red errors, but I think you did see the green error there at the top. But you know it might have failed because down here it says you don't have any locks. I think if it would have succeeded, I would have more information down here. So what I'm going to do is check my balance and see if my Ethereum went away or not. Okay, yes, my Ethereum did go down, so we should be able to have a way here to claim my tokens now. So there's a little pencil right here. What if I click that? The reason sites like this don't have a user ID password is because they use MetaMask, and you sign on to MetaMask, and then it has ways to prove you are who you are because of your private public key pairs. Okay, maybe I should never have clicked this pencil here. I clicked the little X mark to close that, and now I see here this claim not requested. And the way you request it is you click this little arrow over here, and then we have to have a wallet to put it in. I'm basically following the guy on Crypto Lifestyle, and again, I appreciate his video on how to do this. And we click on that arrow, but meanwhile, he goes to another website. So I'll open a new page here. We'll go to apps.plasmanet. No, Plasm, not Plasma. I keep saying Plasma. Plasnet.io. So no plasma, just plasm. MNet. Okay, there we go. IO. And this will take us to the Plasm Wallet itself, where we're going to create a new wallet, and then we'll be able to transfer my coins over here. So I'm going to go to add account. I don't see a link over here for adding it, so I'm going to go to the account screens here. And now I'm able to click add account. Now if it shows me secret words, of course I'll block that off the screen. And more than likely it'll give me some secret words or some seed phrases that I'm going to have to go write down and save. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to go ahead and type my name. It says here with on-chain identity it can be made available, can be made to others. I don't know if there's privacy on this or not. And then here's where I'll be marking out my mnemonic seed codes. So that's what I can't show you on this video. Now that also created a JSON download file that you want to copy and put somewhere safe on your disk, or maybe even back it up off your computer. But I'm not going to cover that in this video. Now over here I can click my account that I just created, and now this sort of a wallet thing will pop up over here, and you can see sent and owned. All that is none at the moment. And it looks like this is my address, my public address. And usually there's a button that says like copy or whatever. I think in this case, so you actually just click on that icon and it copies the address for you. And now you're going to go over here. Remember I clicked that little arrow there a while ago? Should be a place soon where I can type in my address. Okay, so we don't want this address here. We're going to click on that pencil again. Now here's the recipient address. We click paste. And I always like to just make sure that that's correct. So again, I may block it out, but I'm looking at the first few letters and the last few letters. Now unfortunately it spins a while longer. It's a very confusing interface. So like when I click that, what if I click the X sign again? Is it going to remember that address? No. The good news is here it says claim requested is not claimed yet. So that's good. I don't want to claim it to this address. So again, I want to change this address to what I pasted in a minute ago. I don't even know if you have to click the blue box or not. If for some reason that spinner just starts spinning even though I can't click anything. So there. Now I'm going to click the little blue box, the blue check box. Definitely could spend more money on their interface. So now what's this little checkbox do over here now? Anything? Your claim ID is not going to be the same as your wallet, but I'm going to go ahead and copy this claim ID in case I have any issues. I can maybe contact their support on Telegram. I got off track with my video at some point here, but this box finally popped up and I clicked the claim link in the lower right hand corner. Oh, I'm afraid that didn't come up on my video. If it didn't, what I did is the MetaMask popped up and I clicked OK to sign it. I clicked the sign button and it was saying, do you want to receive the data from this claim? Do you want to approve it? And I clicked sign. I hope that came up on the video. If it didn't, I'm sorry. And now we're just waiting on this thing to spin a while again. And now, as I was saying before, we should eventually come over here. Oh, look at there. There's my balance. I now have 65,000 Plasm. Hate to say it. Rhymes with orgasm. That's the only way I could remember it, right? So this screen here just seems to keep kind of doing kind of weird things. So there, now it says claimed lock drop. I don't think it said that before. The user interface is really horrible. I don't know what these plus minus likes are. I don't know if that's here or for Facebook or somewhere else. So I'm not even going to click it. And basically I'm happy now that I got my tokens over here. And now I'm just going to sit on them and keep them there for a while and then see if I can sell them in the near future. Few months from now for $1 or $10 each, right? That's the wish, the lottery ticket, so to speak. So this lottery ticket didn't cost me anything, not even $5-10, except for my Ethereum gas or fuel transaction I had to pay. The risk, I did put up some risk here. I put my Ethereum away where I can't touch it. So if I ever need to spend my $400 of Ethereum now, I can't spend it because it's in lockdown. So for 300 days, I won't be able to touch that Ethereum. And then at the end of that 300 days, more than likely I'll have to come back to this website and say, now I want my Ethereum back. Or I could lock it down for another 300 days and then see what the reward is at that time. So that concludes what I came here to do. It took me, the video you can see is close to 30 minutes. It probably took me an extra 10 or 15 while I had the pause button on. And I have my Plasm tokens over here, and I am very, very happy. And I hope to see you on more videos. Click like and subscribe if this is useful to you, and go get you some Plasm.